Hello everyone and welcome to back to my channel. It's Jackie, as you know, and I have actually got a journal share for you today. I'm going to be sharing a few journals over the next few weeks, hopefully. Some of them still need finishing off, so we'll see how we go. So what I'm sharing today is a journal I've made from Chapter 1 Inspiration Box. I was lucky enough to purchase one of these boxes a couple of weeks ago. I don't think it was any longer than that. The box is about 13 by 10, 3/4 of an inch deep, and it comes jam-packed with stuff, with inspiration, beautiful things, paper crafts and bits of fabric, which you'll see in a second. Very reasonably priced as well. Now, I didn't do an unboxing of mine. I am going to try and insert a picture here to show you what it looks like after I'd delved into it, so you can see what I started off with. And I'm also going to direct you underneath to Carol from Oak House Journals. She did an unboxing of her kit, which was obviously very similar, virtually the same as this one. So I made a journal. I still love making journals, so I decided to make a journal with what was in mine. I'm just going to show you quickly what I've got left. I've got some twine left, a few scraps of fabric and lace. There's the top of a tag. I chopped this handmade paper down to make this piece here. I've got an envelope left, a few buttons, and that's about it. And then here there's a little bit more ribbon, a bit more fabric, some stamped fabric, and a few papers left. I couldn't possibly have used every single thing in this journal, but it's beautiful. Chapter 1 do digital prints as well. This is one of the ones I decided not to use this. It was almost too pretty. And I have been asked to join their design team, so hopefully next month there'll be a project using their digitals. This, as I say, I purchased this kit. This isn't a design team project. So as you saw in the photograph, there was an ephemera folder as part of the kit, made with this really thick handmade paper. I decided that I would cut that down. I think the original was about 9 by 6. I've cut it down to 8 by 5. There were pockets on the original, as you'll see if you watch Carol's video. I took those off. So this measures approximately 8 by 5, and almost everything in it came in that kit. This was on the, down to this pink piece, this was on the front of the ephemera folder. I lifted that off and mounted it on this, as I said, this handmade square. You can see here slight roughness here where I unglued this. I don't really think that matters, but you might. And on the front cover, the only bit that wasn't in the kit was this canvasy fabric that I've put underneath the lace just to strengthen the spine. Okay. The front is, the tassel was made by Chapter 1, the ladies at Chapter 1, and I've just pinned it onto my sari ribbon. This was also the sari ribbon that was wrapping the ephemera folder. I have ironed it, ladies. I quite like ironing my sari silk. I've got some pretty antique buttons on here, and then inside I've used one of their pieces, which came as the handmade paper with the ruffle. There were die cut leaves in the pack, so I've added 3 of those and one of the buttons just to decorate that. Turned it into a pocket, and in there I've got one of the tags that was with the, in the ephemera folder, and I've also put in their little thank you tag. This I've cut from one of their digitals and just added that at the top there. The twine was included. There were pieces of lace The lace was wrapped in, everything was beautifully packaged as well, which was lovely. This was a print in there. I have strengthened the inside of this spine with Tyvek, and I just wanted to cover that up. So this digi that they printed onto some kind of craft paper, just tore in half and popped that down the side here, down the spine. Bits of lace were wrapped in a vintage Jane Austen page, and you'll see I have torn a few little bits of that out, but these were the laces. So all of these papers were in the pack. So we've got botanical, ledger page, piece of wallpaper. This is dyed copy paper, and it's blue. And now I don't know what that was dyed with. Maybe red cabbage. I think that might come out blue, but I'm not 100%. This little envelope, I've even used the paper clips that they had in the kit, and I've just curled the end there. Another couple of these leaves. This button, I've used 2 of these buttons. These are out of my stash, so those buttons weren't in the chapter 1 kit, but there are buttons you could have used. I just wanted something a bit flatter. That I cut down slightly. This was in the kit, and this embossed envelope, and I've just popped a few odds and ends in there, leftovers. So that I put over the top of that page. This tea-dyed paper was in the kit. This is presumably, or I'm pretty sure, is one of their digitals printed onto a book page, an old book page. These little tags were in there. I've just torn a bit of the digital off to decorate the front one. And this is a little bit of found journaling, found words from that Jane Austen page. So it says gleamed lustrous, and this tag was in there. I've just added from their ribbons, I've just added a bit of that velvet ribbon. This paper was in there. This is some tissue paper that was printed and was in the kit, and there was some piano roll paper. I'm going to call it a kit. It's not really a kit, it's an inspiration box, but so I've joined those to get together to strengthen both and used it as a page. The doily was in there. This is some Basildon Bond paper, I think. Posh writing paper, basically. Probably vintage, I don't know. Could be any time really from the 70s upwards, I would think. This is another digital printed onto a book page. There was a glassine envelope with, I can't remember what was in there, but something was in there. I've repurposed that. I've torn, there was a Peter Rabbit page, I've torn out the image, and there were 3 plain tags, and I've just dressed them up with one of their printed pieces of fabric. This was a extra piece of wallpaper, and this was some vintage fabric and lace that I've just layered up onto that one. So they're all stitched. And use the various ribbons. There's another ledger page. This is an embossed page. I don't have an A4 embosser, but I do love the way that looks. This is some vintage fabric. I've used the offcut. I cut it down to make the pocket, and I've used the offcut on there. And in here, these were included in the kit. So there's a stitched piece of handmade paper. And this is from that digital page, or something similar, not particularly this one, but something, oh it is, it's that one, or similar, anyway, not quite the same. And again, I've added the ribbon, just to bring in a little bit of that turquoise, which you can see down here. In the centre, I've just put some of the vintage buttons that they included. And on this side, this is a vintage map. It's actually fabric on the underside, and in there I've included some of the leftover pieces. This is modelling paste, a bit of embossed paper, and a little envelope. And again, I've popped you a few little bits in there. All the trims have been stitched on. It's the other side of that book page that's printed. So pretty. This is a little idea that they'd included, which I thought was rather cute. I don't know whether it's Sue or Helen that made this, but they'd actually wrapped some thread around there, but I took that off. I liked it just plain without the thread, and obviously you could pop a little photograph or something in there. This was one of their tags, and I've just dressed that up with some of the sari and the twine. This was this is exactly how it was in the inspiration pack, so that folds out. There's a bit of doily stamping there, and I've just glued that in. Oh, got a bit of extra paper. Glued that in to make a pocket. This tag came with this vellum tag topper. Another handmade envelope from Handmade Paper as well. Again, I've added that leaf, die cut leaves. I've just stitched, as you can see, I've just stitched down the centres of those. And in here there was pretty journal card with some stitching, and I've included as well some of their stamped images, all stamped on tea dyed paper. And this envelope does actually, this acts as a little closure for this envelope, but I've just chosen to pop it around the page, and I've used their big paper clip for that, rose gold paper clip. And then on the back I've done the same as I did on the front with the other half of that digital, and I've stuck this tag down, and again just added some of the sari silk and the threads. These were all made, these were in there. So this was actually quite a quick project. Little envelope here that was in that embossed envelope, and I've popped an extra tag in there I had left over, and that's the back. So that's my chapter 1. I've attached, this was part of their gift, if you like. It felt like a gift, and I've just pinned that onto this sari silk, just so that when you wrap it round, if I can get that right, that's fine. So I just place it roughly on the edge there and tie this up. So that's my chapter 1 journal. I really enjoyed making this. It hasn't taken me very long. I started it yesterday afternoon and finished it this morning. It's Sunday, sort of midday today. And I couldn't be happier. I hope I get another of these kits at some point. They go like, they go very quickly. So I was very fortunate to get one this time. Thank you for watching.